What do you do if you're having a hard time getting your first Etsy sale? This is a question that has been posed to me several times in recent weeks, the past 2, 3 weeks, and I thought I would just dive right in, make a small video that is jam packed, full of information that I believe will be very helpful for you. Stick around to the end, or I'm going to have a super tip. So, if you don't know me, my name is Casey. I'm a furniture redesigner and artist. I specialize in armoires, but I do all different types of furniture. I'll give you a quick little preview towards the end of the video of items that I'm working on. So I've been selling on Etsy since 2020, and things took off for me. Had my shop shut down, blah, 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 and reopened a new one. And so, but all that to say, I've shipped to almost 40 states now, and at a time right now, so we're in late June 2024, and furniture sales are slow. If furniture sales are slow for you, and I just want you to know it's slow everywhere. I am very fortunate. It's the sales have been normal and even elevated for me. And the only reason I'm saying this is to say there are some things. Here's a super tip at the end that I'm going to give you that why they are not slow for me. And so I want you to know that. My shipper who comes regularly says you're one of the highest selling furniture artists. He ships almost exclusively almost for furniture artists. And he said where things are really slowing down for a lot of people, you consistently have almost a truck full or several pieces going out, every month. And so that's true. I am shipping out almost a truck full of furniture every month. And so all of the pieces behind me you see, except for one, are sold. I'm surrounded by pieces that are sold except for one or two. And so let's just dive in to the Etsy, getting your first Etsy sale. So the first thing, and I'm pausing to make this video in the middle of my workday, so I'm not all dressed up for you, have some grace. The very first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure, like if things aren't selling, make sure you have at least 10 items for sale in your shop. And that means, so if not, even if some of those items are previously sold items, like you don't have it to ship, but you made it before, you can curate. It's a dresser you've painted, you sold it last year, but it looks great, you have good photos of it. List that as an option for a custom order. And so those things can be listed. You need at least 10 things in your shop for sale for your shop to get any kind of traction. But 10 things is the minimum. You want to keep adding and building to your shop. And so please keep that in mind. If you're having a hard time getting your first sale, like if you are not going in, updating your announcements, if you are not updating listings and not renewing them, adding new listings, Etsy kind of looks at your shop, this is just my experience, as a little stagnant and dormant and not very active. So the algorithm's not going to push that to a lot of people. And so that's something to keep in mind. Keep creating your listings. If you are like, you know what, I have 10 items for sale, they're ready for sale, they're listed, I'm waiting on my first sale, great. The next thing is keep making furniture and keep listing it. Just imagine if you are driving your car on a Saturday morning, you're going garage selling, and you drive past a garage sale that has 5 or 6, 7 items outside, and you have a limited amount of time, maybe 20 minutes to garage sale. But up the street, you can see there's one with 30 or 40 or 50 items. Which one are you going to? You're going to the one that's where there's more options, where there's more things. And this is kind of how the algorithm sees stuff. One that is more happening, one that's more active, a shop that's more lively. There's movement in the shop. It's not sitting stagnant and dormant. So maybe you're updating your announcements, you're adding new listings. That is my biggest and best tip for you. Number two, make sure that every area of the shop is filled in. And every area, make sure you're writing like the about me, your bio, your profile, whatever you want to call it, that's filled in. And that there is like, I'm just make up a person. Hi, my name's Rebecca. I'm a established furniture artist in Memphis, Tennessee. And then, so you've had the introduction. Now you need to give them a reason to have confidence in you. And so, my name's Rebecca. I'm an established furniture artist in Memphis, Tennessee. I have been refinishing furniture for X amount of years. I have sold furniture to, so many happy customers, over 50 happy customers, 100 happy customers. And, I curate high quality, luxury, all solid wood pieces. Make sure you're actually curating those things. You don't want to say stuff for the sake of saying it. You want to say stuff that is true. Don't embellish, just be real, but give them something to grab onto, that you're not just a scam out there. Direct them to social media, or website, or whatever, where they can make a connection. And if you direct them to social media, make sure that social media is regularly posted and they can make a connection. People will do their research on who they do business with online. And so many people will, not every single person. There's no blanket statements with all that. But before they drop a couple of $1,000s, a lot of people are going to be like, I'm going to go look, see who this is. And if you don't look too trustworthy, if you have a solid presence online, it's going to help your sales. Okay, so if they see other people liking and commenting on your furniture and you're active online, that's going to spark more interest in them. Like, oh, I could have this piece that all these people are commenting on. So please keep that in mind. So those are two great takeaways. Take with you. Number three is good photos and listing descriptions. This girl had reached out to me and she's like, I'm not making my first sale. And so I had a peek at her shop and she had great photos. She had shipping information. She had actually copied my shipping information, and which, write your own. But I don't really, it doesn't bother me. But the thing is, it didn't apply to her. That I need to update mine, but it said ship to 30 states because that was back, and she just copied and pasted it all in there. But those things aren't true for her. So if a customer questions her on that, like, how did you ship 30 states and you're brand new? And make sure that when you can take ideas and examples from other sellers, but make it personal and make it your own. Don't just blindly, fill in, copy and paste what other people are doing. Have the integrity to make it your own. It'll pay off. So on her listing descriptions, there was a lot to be desired. She started out with, this is, a green dresser, blah, blah, blah. And that was okay. But there's all this space. So if you're selling a dresser, an armoire, whatever, when I am selling an armoire and I write a listing description for an armoire, I do not just put armoire in my listing description. I will say, this listing is for a French country. So there's keyword French country wardrobe, which would be, ideal use as a kitchen pantry, a tall dresser, or a linen cabinet. Those are right there, one sentence, stuffed full of keywords that go very natural. This beautiful French style armoire, so you have French armoire, keywords, is hand painted. It is a vintage piece that is hand painted in an old world, a European style. So here are all keywords people are typing into Etsy and Google and Pinterest when they're looking for items. That they might type in old world armoire, French country wardrobe, French kitchen pantry, French furniture. So keep that in mind. If you are, have a long dresser, let's say you have a long navy blue dresser. You know, this beautiful navy blue dresser would also serve really well as an amazing navy blue sidebar as part of your dining room furniture set. So if you've got somebody looking for dining room furniture, you just put those keywords in your listing description. When I write a listing, it takes me for an Etsy listing or website listing, or when I write the listing, do all my photos, it takes me 30 to 45 minutes. And so I will put in keywords, I'll go back, I'll kind of edit it, I'll read it out loud. Does it sound natural? And so I will do bullet points of features. So bullet points of features is things to note, and that could be solid wood, hand painted, dovetail drawers, 5 drawers, things like that, 3 shelves. I mean, if they're velvet lined drawers or whatever it may be. And so those are all things. Somebody could put dovetail antique dresser. And so if they put dovetail antique, well, I have dovetail listed. And so all of that makes all of these things come together. When you are on Etsy creating a listing, you have 13 keywords that you can list in their keyword space. The customer doesn't see that, but it helps the algorithm to direct people to you. Now, if you're doing an armoire, you wouldn't want to do white armoire, cream armoire, tall armoire, narrow armoire, French armoire, I'll use armoire maybe a few times because there's only so many words I can think of, but I will do, French linen cabinet, like I said before, tall dresser, office storage, mudroom storage. Because it can be used for that bedroom, closet, French furniture, bedroom furniture, TV cabinet, enclosed bookcase, all kinds of things that you can use. Wardrobe, pantry, linen cabinet, excuse me, fill in the blank. So that is, I'm just on here being a real person, sharing real information. This stuff has helped me so much, not just with one Etsy store. I don't know, some of you may or may not know my story. I had one Etsy shop, had it for a few years, is doing great. I got shut down over an algorithm snag. I have a video on that. You can go watch it if you want to know the story. But I started another one, and it took off just as quickly. And very consistent sales. Now, I want to say this year, I started doing something different, and my sales took off a lot more outside of, really just kind of skyrocketed, and it was outside of Etsy. And it wasn't even through my website, it was through Facebook. I made a commitment here is my super tip. I said, if you stick around towards the end, then I will give you, my super tip. This is my super tip. I would say, let me give you a super tip for Etsy, okay? We'll just do a little bonus. So my super tip for Etsy is if you are having a hard time making a sale and you've had listings that haven't had any interest at all, there's not very many likes, there's not very many people come to your shop, change your primary photo. Okay, so change your primary photo, maybe a different angle, try it up close piece, change your listing title. Don't go in and do it all to every piece all at once. That's, I don't recommend that. But go in, if you have something that hasn't been doing real well, go in and make some adjustments to it. If it's been sitting for weeks and it hasn't been getting any attention at all or very little, change it up. Do something to it. Switch it up. It doesn't, like when you create an Etsy listing, it doesn't have to mean you're stuck with it the way it is. Things can always be okay, maybe this isn't working. I'm going to change my primary photo. I'm going to, whatever it may be, do it. and create a photo in photo room, or just do a different view or a close-up picture of the detail, make that the primary photo. Or I'm gonna change my listing title. So that's my super tip. If something has been sitting for a long time, kind of consider that. And then just another note on that, if you are asking for really high prices, and like if you're offering free shipping, that shipping, of course, is just built into the listing price. So if you're trying to sell a dresser for 1,400 to 2,000, 2,200, and that includes your shipping costs, you have to have a unique piece. If it looks like what they can buy on Wayfair or IKEA, or if it's just a nice painted dresser, with some nice hardware, but there's not anything too unique, or it doesn't have a lot of personality, or, then you've created something that's very run of the mill. And I mean, a lot of people like run of the mill and mainstream, but I have found for very mainstream pieces, it is hard to get a high price for those. And so that may be an issue if you've done all the things I've said and things still aren't selling. Then you may have a piece that's too mainstream and you're asking that like a super unique, like a price. The more rare and harder and unique, harder to come by and unique that something is, the higher the price you can ask for it. And so, and the higher price you'll get. But if you are creating something that's very saturated already in the market, you have a lot of competition. People are like, I seen a sage green dresser for, somebody's asking 1,700 for this. You're asking 1,700, but I seen somebody else had a sage green dresser for 600. So just to show you a few pieces, this dresser here, she has, a lot of unique detail, hand painted flowers, and she's just really beautiful. Like she's a lot of like ornate detail and stuff on her. And so this buffet, can you see it? Let me get my chair out of the way. It's more unique. You're not going to see those. I've got 2,200 on that with free shipping. You're not going to see that all the time. This armoire right here that I am stripping down from that's been a process, a heavily lacquered finish. That is going to be painted in a very old world white cream type of finish. It's sold. That is custom order. This armoire sold for $4,200. This armoire, I don't know if you can kind of tell, this one sold for around $3,000. This little jewelry armoire sold for almost $1,000. And so it's unique pieces. A lady sent me, this is a knockdown armoire. It's got several pieces to it. And so she's paying me $1,800 to paint that. Back here, this piece sold, the big tall one, for almost $6,000. And so there is money to be made in flipping furniture. But here's what I mean when I say unique. So this is Ted. I named my armoires. Paint with Casey on Facebook if you want to read about the armoire stories. He is almost finished, but you're not going to find him on Wayfair, or IKEA or Pottery Barn. So they're going to be unique. So if you're having a hard time getting a sale, you've done all the things that I said, then just look at, ask yourself, am I creating unique pieces? And that will help you a lot to start doing unique pieces. But if you just don't like painting like this, if that's not your style and you love doing one solid color and putting on beautiful hardware, do that, but do it with a heavy lacquer finish, which is real bright and shiny, is so popular right now. Do what's trending. Something very boho, or a piece that's really unique, or whatever it may be. You may have to do a good amount of market research to see what's currently selling well, but you can figure it out. So that is my information for today. I hope it was helpful. I have been absent from YouTube for a little while because we have been, there's Gus. Excuse me. We have just been kind of farming away. I've got lots that we moved. This business really helped us to buy a beautiful 33-acre farm in the Missouri Ozarks. And so I've been getting goats. I've been working on custom orders. We've been fixing stuff, and it's been amazing. And so here's what I will leave you with at how my business took off this year outside of Etsy. So my business took off this year outside of Etsy through Facebook, and not Facebook Marketplace, but just people on Facebook saying, I want to buy that, contacting me saying, on my Paint with Casey page, I want to, do an order. So I'm averaging almost $20,000 a month right now, just through orders from people, from Facebook followers. And that began this year in January, when I decided to start making reels and to increase and make my content creative and realistic and centered around just who I am as an artist and a person. A lot of people connected with it. My Facebook following grew from 2,000 to I'm pretty close to 20,000 right now, just in a few months. And people have been ordering. It's not, I'm not doing a lot of tutorials and how to, I think I want to set you down, a lot of how-tos and things like that. It's just more, like some time-lapse videos and getting on and answering a few questions and things like that. Video is the vehicle that will bring in customers. Video is a vehicle that will bring in customers. They want to connect with you. You give them some information, let them get to know you as an artist. Just connect with them on a regular basis, and it will pay off. So that's where probably about 80-75% of my sales are coming through Facebook. So they message me, I talk about what they want, I send them an invoice through Square Invoicing, and they purchase the invoice. And so then I get started. This lady that shipped this, she paid $700 to ship that armoire to me. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to have like a waterfall of colors, not like a waterfall, but a waterfall of colors. And, people want things that they can't get anywhere else, and they're willing to pay for it. That's customization and personalization. But sometimes some furniture artists, and I think maybe even new ones, want to do something super mainstream. But if you do something mainstream, you'll have a problem, kind of branding yourself as an artist. I'm definitely branded for armoires and cabinets and a French European style. Sorry, I know I'm moving you around, but but that's me. I know people who do kind of Gothic furniture, and people that do amazing like florals and transfers. I don't do transfers, but people just make amazing things with it. One of the reasons I don't do transfers is because if you see a transfer, you'll see it on 200 different pieces of furniture. I'm not a big fan of that, but they still sell well for people. So, and there's lots of different ways they can be used. I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to be having some more videos regularly now that we're kind of caught up with some things on the farm and settling in. So love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.